This is my last Chelsea. I'm 80 next year, and it's time to hang my trowel up. We've done most of the big shows and they're gold every time. So there's a high standard to keep up. The saying I have in the front of my seed catalogue is, I strive for perfection, but settle for excellence. And that's what you have to do. It's Tuesday the 14th today. We're pulling roots now, washing all day today. There's all go on all the roots. It's very stressful. I mean, you've got 40 odd kinds of vegetables, and they've all got to cross the finishing line together. No use having them 2 weeks after or 2 weeks before. That's the incredibly difficult bit. Let's go and have a look at these other carrots here. Bloody hell, that's tight. This is a variety called Purple Sun. There's orange inside. Well, all carrots were initially yellow, and then Holland decided, in their infinite wisdom, that they should be orange to match the flag. So they're bred, and the yellow eventually went out. And that's a nice one. I like the skin condition on this one. As a family, we've been gardening for years. My grandfather was a keen gardener. My father was a top gardener as well. Very often he was known as the long carrot man. I've got a lot of thoughts coming through. Thoughts about my father, him and I going together. And I remember putting our first collection in Shrewsbury, and we saw we'd won the Sturchley Cup and the first prize for the first display ever. And my father touched me and he said, I want to cry. I said, that's no problem, Dad, you have a good cry. He was so proud. We did have a moment like that in Chelsea. I think it was 2000, and we won it, and we won the President's Award for the best display of any kind within the horticultural marquee. And that was very moving. And I just lost my mother and father. And I wanted to cry. I'm filling up now thinking I wanted to ring Dad, but he wasn't there. And that was the saddest and most emotional moment for me. We work as a team, as a family unit. Gwenda, my wife, she who must be obeyed, I call her. And Alwyn is keen on it.
Medwyn's like the director or the captain of the ship. I then do all the logistics, the planning, the dates, that kind of stuff. And my mother comes in to do the harvesting. My mum's more the one who's got more of the artistic flair. My mother's one who likes to matches the colours up and like this kind of stuff, or works out the shapes of the carrot display or the shapes of tomatoes that she'd like to do.
It's an art form, really, you know. Our display is always from dead centre to the right, to the left. It's an exact copy. You could fold it like a book. And that, to me, is the pure enjoyment of creating an artistic form, if you like, from vegetables. It's a long beetroot time, and as you can see with the foliage here, they've taken a bit of a pasting with the hot weather. Trim the tops. Just cleaning them. It's not a nice vegetable for exhibition, really, but it's another kind of vegetable. And between everything, I've got over 40 kinds, so it makes the display different. I have been totally convinced always that vegetables, when they are shown naked, are more colourful than flowers. Plus, with a bonus, you can eat them. There's not many flowers you can eat. Of course, without Canna, I wouldn't have been able to do Chelsea. We work extremely well together, we write together. Canna Coco Professional we used more than the Terra, we find it works well for us. The judges will check for every stand is covered with black cloth, basically. So they'll judge to make sure there's not too much black cloth showing or too much black cloth showing. In other words, you've overloaded your stand with baskets and produce, or you haven't done enough of it, and there's too many gaps. But there'll be a panel of judges, it's not just one man. It'll be a panel, and they will come to the decision. But we won't find out until Tuesday morning generally. It's like Father Christmas time. During the middle of the night, Monday night, the girls will be going out with the cards on each display stand, so that when you wake up in the morning, you'll see silver, gold or bronze. Well, here we are at Chelsea Flower Show, at long last, after all the worry and stresses of growing the material, but the public have boosted me up. Everybody says it's absolutely amazing. Gold! Yes! Well, I'm over the moon. I couldn't say it any better than that. The judges have been very kind and generous to me. I've had a gold medal once again, which is 13. It's nothing to look at really, is it? It's just a small little gold emblem on the middle, but to me it's worth a lot. Because it's just the most prestigious show on earth, so it says it all. Well, I'm 80 next year, so you can't go on forever. Everything comes to an end at some point or other. This is the end for me. I'm very happy I've achieved a hell of a lot in gardening. I wanted people to be inspired by vegetables, and I think I've achieved that. I'm not packing in gardening. I'll be growing more for the show bench. I got all this to thank for my son, my grandson, and my great-grandson, who's only 6, but he's showing he loves it. He comes down the land with me, sits on the potting bench, does a bit of this and that. Well, it's just the same as my dad passed information down to me. Getting a bit emotional now, thinking about my dad. Yeah, it's been a lovely trip, if you like, and I got to thank my wife as well, Gwenda. She's been fabulous. We've been married 56 years now, and she's been with me all the way.
Well, I love gardening, and you look forward to going to the shows and meeting the people, and it's just, well, it's wonderful. We have been married 56 years, and we've been a team, you know, a team all along. I think Medwyn, you'll never stop growing, and I'll still enjoy my shows as long as I live, because the people and response to the stall, but you've got to give in sometime.
We've never had less than a gold medal anywhere at any show, so that was my worry with this one being the last. I didn't want to slip down, and I'm chuffed to death. I'm Medwyn Williams, and I'm Canna.